I'm Erik the Travel Guy, and it is another gorgeous day in paradise. The sun is shining, the roosters are crowing, and we brought you to the southernmost tip of the continental United States. In this episode, we're going to show you the quirks and the charms of what the locals call the Conch Republic. You know, we're just 90 miles to Cuba. That means this is Key West.
My name is Erik Hastings. Yeah, that's me. And for as long as I can remember, I've always loved to travel. And I still do today. Airlines, hotels, cruises, new places, delicious food, I love all of it. And that's why I've been traveling the world professionally for more than a decade. But what troubles me these days is that Americans are leaving paid vacation time on the table each year at an alarming rate. Well, I want to help fix that. So please consider this a personal invitation to join me each week on my mission to get you traveling more than ever before. Because while the world is a pretty big place to explore, your next vacation is waiting to be discovered not just around the globe, but perhaps just around the corner. Let me introduce you to the places, people, and secrets I've discovered that remind me just how exciting it is to be alive, and hopefully will inspire you to get out of the house and into your next great adventure. I am Erik the Travel Guy, and this is Beyond Your Backyard.
Thank you for watching, and welcome to Key West. You know, as I sit here in the Hemingway Home and Museum in Ernest Hemingway's studio at his 1932 Royal Portable Typewriter, it gives me pause for reflection. You see, the more time you spend here in Key West, it's so easy to understand why this unique American destination has served as inspiration for so much creativity. Food, fun, festivals, gorgeous sunrises and sunsets. There's so much to see and do. And I'm going to show you all of it. Let's get started.
Key West is an escape from the norm. So feel free to transport your mind, body, and soul to another realm of discovery because this island has a distinct vibe. In other words, feel free to be whomever you are or perhaps who you want to become. The atmosphere is fun. It's vibrant, it's active, and the locals here are as welcoming as the warm golden sun. The Florida Keys are made up of a rocky chain of islands that stretch down about 120 miles from Biscayne Bay to the Dry Tortugas, and in between the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Ocean. The very last key, and most southern, is, you guessed it, Key West. I mean, there's even a commemorative buoy here and everything. Photo op?
Now, because Key West is extremely accessible, I mean, after all, it's only about 4 miles long by about a mile wide, I find that it is an ideal destination to explore by bicycle, or scooter, or guided tour.
There are plenty of bike rental companies here in Key West, Lloyd's or Keyline Bike Tours to name a few of my favorites. And exploring by bike lets you set your own pace and feel more connected to the leisure journeys of the island. Or if you decide to book with a guided tour, you'll be privy to fun facts and history lessons known only to the locals, which is something I always enjoy. You'll notice Key West is divided into two major sections, Old Town and New Town, the former being more historic. You'll truly get to see the best of Key West this way. Of course, it's safety first, people, so make sure to wear a helmet. Oh, and watch out for wild chickens crossing the roads.
One of the biggest surprises you'll discover as you learn more about this Caribbean-esque island, tooling around on foot or on bicycle, is the beautiful Queen Anne and Victorian architecture, most prominently found in Old Town.
This district is believed to be the largest predominantly wooden one in the entire United States. It includes almost 3,000 structures comprised of different churches, museums, government buildings, mansions, and more. The Newtown section of the island offers more shopping centers, grocery stores, and the like. And I'd be remiss without highlighting all of the awesome activities and adventures awaiting you on the ocean. Sure, it's positively idyllic to look at and appreciate the ocean from the sand and rock beaches, but let's not forget about actually getting out on these clear blue waters. The snorkeling and sailing here are spectacular. That's why I decided to hit the open water to show you step by step how to don your snorkel mask and fins.
Abby, what are we going to need to make a perfect snorkeling adventure?
So we have a few pieces of equipment here.
And this is pretty universal, right? This is pretty standard stuff, right?
Almost any trip you go on.
All right, so
for snorkeling.
if nobody's ever gone before, maybe you have this like a little refresher course.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we need?
Okay, so right here we have our BC key. It's our buoyancy compensator. Super easy, just goes on over your head. We have pool noodles if you need a little extra buoyancy in the water. We have life jackets if you need even more than that.
Buoyancy usually not a problem for me.
All right,
so
then
we're gonna work out.
good.
Okay, so we have one of those, okay.
We have our mask and snorkel right here. This goes on over your head. This suction goes along the outside of your face. You kind of want to make sure all your hair, stuff like that, it's not too tight, so you don't break that suction.
And you put the nose right in.
Surprisingly, the nose goes in the thing shaped as a nose.
But do most people, when they wear it for the first time, they find it to be just a little strange?
Yeah, it's, you know.
But that only lasts for a couple seconds.
Of course, yeah. You get used to it really fast.
Adjust with the straps
Yeah.
here. I feel like a flight attendant. We're kind of doing the whole
exactly.
Here and here. Okay, very good. So we have this, and then obviously we
yeah, and then you can suction your lips along the outside and breathe nice and slowly.
Okay.
If you sound like your favorite Star Wars character, you're doing it right.
You're good? Okay,
yeah,
very good.
Exactly.
All right. And what about the flippers? Some
The
people use them,
fins.
or fins? What are they
Yeah, if you snorkel before, if you swam in the water, if you swim in the ocean before, we usually say that these are a good thing to use.
Are we going to actually do this? Are we going to get in the water?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
All right, Abby, let's talk hand signals.
All right.
What are the most important hand signals?
We have an international dive sign for you're okay. It's you're okay above the water. It's just a big fist. And you put it right on top of your head.
I can do that.
Yep, that's your I'm okay sign. Answer and a question.
Got it. Okay.
And
What
then
else?
the I'm not okay sign kind of comes pretty naturally. Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do to get my attention.
I say we go exploring.
All right, let's do it.
We're going exploring. All right, let's go this way.
All right, so people come out, and they come out to snorkel. They know they're coming to Key West. Obviously, water has to be part of that adventure, right? You can't come to Key West and not get in the water.
No, that is the best part of the Keys, is actually leaving the island and getting out to experience, Mother Nature out here at its finest. Once you're on the boat, we take care of the rest. We give you full instruction. We have all the equipment provided. We do parasailing, which is a great vantage point when you're 300-400 feet in the air. Jet ski tours around the island, one of our favorite activities to do. Paddle boarding is very popular this time of year, and a great activity, kayaking as well. You can get close to the islands over there and see up close the birds and the wildlife. So those are just some of the activities you can do.
In best time of year?
We're a year-round destination, which is wonderful about the Keys. The water's a little colder, in the winter months, but
when you say colder, you're talking...
That is a relative term, correct?
Right.
Yeah,
65 degrees out there.
Right now, today. And then during the summer, it warms up into the mid-80s. So.
Yeah. How's the fishing down here? People come down to deep sea fishing?
Fishing is great. You can go offshore, you can go near shore, you can go flats fishing.
Why is this destination so popular, though?
Well,
what is it about? There's something mythical almost.
It is. It's very charismatic. The charm of Key West is undeniable.
Yeah.
It's very simple to get here. You can get here by automobile. You can fly here. You could bike here. You could run here. And we're not so isolated, like some of the Caribbean islands.
Right.
It's a lot easier for beginners.
What do people say when they come out and talk to you? And they come out of the water. What do they tell you about?
Well, they're just in awe of what they see out there, because a lot of these people have never been on the ocean, and they may be landlocked, so they're just mystified by the wonders underneath the sea.
What are we going to see when we're down there?
You might see barracuda, stuff like that. You're going to see angelfish, butterfly fish, a variety. There's 162 different fish species that live out on our corals.
You're kidding.
And then, on the surface, you see birds, and you might on the ride out and back see dolphin and turtle and stuff like that.
And what's surprising to me is that the ocean that we've explored, it's just this thumbnail compared to how much water there really is.
That is correct. I think we've only explored about 20% of what's out there,
Yeah.
As you probably have guessed, Key West locals pride themselves on their craft and their willingness to share it with the others. The welcoming vibe on board was palpable and one of the hallmarks of Key West's friendly people. Oh yes, I feel a transition coming on.
Speaking of iconic stories, we've made our way to one of Key West's most notable residents. That, of course, is Nobel Prize-winning author Ernest Hemingway.
He resided here and made quite the mark on the area up until his death in 1961. One of his favorite pastimes was taking his buddies out fishing, which now we can see why it was so much fun. There are drinks named in honor of him at some of his favorite bars and haunts like Sloppy Joe's and Captain Tony's. And his spirit lives on in Old Town, with festivals and in the attractions created by the purveyors of these establishments. Some of his most famous works were written while living at Hemingway House. His home now serves as a landmark property and museum, which is a major attraction for visitors. You may have heard of Hemingway's cats, an aficionado of polydactyl cats, which means more than the usual amount of toes, often 6 or even 7. Hemingway first received a polydactyl cat as a gift from a sea captain and started to breed them after developing a fondness. His museum now serves as the home for more than 50 of these types of cats and a landmark honoring his life's work. I had the opportunity to tour the mansion, befriend a cat or two, and speak with the curator, which was a fascinating and enlightening window into Hemingway's world.
When people come for the first time, what are they going to see when they're here?
The home of Ernest Hemingway, where he knocked out 70% of his lifetime works in the 1930s. The beautiful grand mansion that's unlike any other building here on the island. The building was built in 1851 out of solid limestone rock. It was actually excavated right from the footprint of the house, so it has a full basement. Hemingway made into his wine cellar. They're also going to see the rooms inside the house where he lived and raised his family, lived here with his wife and his children. They're going to see the 54 cats roaming around this acre of lush, tropical, almost like a rainforest of gardens, meandering pathways and such. Families love coming here with their children because they get to interact with the cats. They got an acre to run around in, and everybody has a great day.
And people can go inside, of course.
Go inside the house.
Because a lot of people know about the home that he had in Cuba.
In Cuba, you view the house from the windows from the outside.
Okay.
Here, we take you in. We just added air conditioning 2.5 years ago. We're going to put you on a 30-minute complimentary guided tour. It'll take you to the house, give you the life and times of Ernest Hemingway in a nutshell. Then we encourage you, with that information in your head, visit our bookstore gift shop, get yourself a copy of one of his novels, and read that by poolside or on the plane going back home.
What is it that people don't know about Ernest Hemingway?
The thing I think most unknown about him was his kindness. People view him as the boxer, the fisherman, the hunter, but if truth be known, when he was here during the 1930s and wrote 70% of his lifetime works, he actually paid somebody else to type it up for him. During the 1930s, we were in the middle of the Great Depression. He gave somebody a job.
A job. And that was a theme throughout his life.
Yes, it was.
How many times did he marry? Three times?
Four times.
4 times.
The fourth time's a charm.
Fourth time is a charm. I think that's about right. People come here, what are they most surprised by?
The spaciousness, really. We're still today the single largest residential piece of property on the island of Key West.
I didn't know that.
We're on a full acre. There are no other homes this big. Only hotels are bigger than this.
Why did he decide to come here?
Actually, he was in Austria skiing with his friend John Dos Passos.
Okay.
Now, John Dos Passos knew that Hemingway was an avid fisherman, but only fished in streams, lakes, and rivers. He said, you gotta go fish in the Florida Keys and the Florida Straits. And he came here, he wasn't catching 6-pound trout anymore. We're talking 60 to 80-pound tuna and 1,200-pound marlin. He was hooked.
He started out as a journalist, like cub reporter, right?
Cub reporter for Kansas City
Kansas
Sun,
Star.
Toronto Star.
Did that become part of the fabric of who he was and his writing style?
Yes, and again, under the advice of someone else. Gertrude Stein in Paris told him, stop writing these magazine articles and short stories. You need to write a novel. And she sent him, recommended that he go to Pamplona, to the Fiesta, and run with the bulls, and he wrote his first novel, which is The Sun Also Rises, in 1926.
He truly loved life and lived it.
He lived life, and he was very much a Renaissance man in regards to, he wrote only about places he had been and lived, people he had known, and emotions he had felt. At the very end of his life, his short-term memory was fading. He would sit before a sheet of paper, blank sheet of paper, for hours and couldn't think of one word, much less a sentence. So what he really lost was his first true love, the love of writing.
Writing. People don't realize he was in chronic physical pain in the last, decade of his life?
Yeah, he was very accident prone, went through many injuries. All that was catching up to him.
Yeah, let's talk about the cats.
Sure. 54 cats here. Hemingway thought it was funny to name them after his famous friends, so they're all still today traditionally named after famous people. And we have Tennessee Williams and Fats Waller, Frank Sinatra, Liz Taylor. They're all running around here.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Eric.
I appreciate this.
Your Key West vacation wouldn't be complete without diving into the delicious culinary scene. Yeah, see what I did there? Well, I mean, after all, we are on the water, which means all that fresh fish takes center stage on the menus. And the local chefs have absolutely mastered how to make each offering from the sea delicious and unique. From hogfish sandwiches to conch fritters to stone crab to snapper and more, all are worthy of a sample while you eat your way around town. One of the best ways to take it all in, or at least some of the best, is to take a culinary walking tour.
Synonymous with Key West is its famed pie that hails from this tropical paradise. It's time to dig in and learn more about this famous dessert that originated here. We're talking, of course, about key lime pie.
Kermit, how are you, man? Welcome to Kermit. I like your day already.
I want to talk a little bit about this guy. This is a key lime, right?
That's a key lime.
And obviously it's smaller than a regular lime. Are they grown here? Where are they grown?
Originally from Southeast Asia. The English were called limeys because they brought them all over the world and planted them because they found out when they put it in the barrels of water that you no longer got scurvy.
Really?
Yeah, so they're Mexico, it's a Mexican lime. Tahiti, it's a Tahitian lime. Key West lime.
And what's the difference if I pick up a regular lime versus a Key West lime?
The acidity. It's gonna, if you made a key lime pie with a regular lime, it's not gonna set up well because the acidity is not there, which is what curdles the milk, gives you that custard feel.
All right, so we're gonna make one of these pies.
You're gonna make a key lime pie.
Really?
Absolutely.
All right, what do we do?
Okay, 2 cans of sweetened condensed milk,
Okay,
6 egg yolks,
okay.
half a cup of juice, and a
Pie crust.
graham cracker crust. Or you could use a cookie crust if you don't have a graham cracker.
I like the graham cracker, that's a nice touch.
That's basic.
The temperature of the eggs, room temperature?
Room temperature.
Okay. How long does it take to bring an egg down to room temperature?
Not that long.
No?
An hour.
Hour or so?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you start those mixing. We're gonna add 2 cans of sweetened condensed milk.
And again, I wasn't beating this for very long. Like, that's it.
Doesn't take much. You're just blending this up.
This is amazingly simple. Did I get this right? There's 150 products in your store with key lime in?
Correct.
What was that?
Key lime cookies, key lime candies, key lime sauces, key lime marinades, key lime moisturizer, bath gels, shampoos, soaps.
It's like Forrest Gump. This is already starting to look like the right color.
Right. Now lift that up and see how thin though it is. Now you're gonna see, we're gonna add the juice to that. You're gonna see the thickness change and the texture change.
And that's straight juice.
Straight key lime juice. Now as you're stirring that, you're gonna see the texture change because the juice and the chemical reaction with the milk
Is almost instantaneous.
almost instantaneous.
Wow, you are not kidding.
Okay, that's ready to dump in the crust.
That's it?
Yep, you've made a key lime pie. Okay. Voila.
If I can do this,
Right.
anybody can do
Level it up a little bit.
this. Okay. How hot's the oven?
350 degrees, we're gonna do 20 minutes. Bring it right over here, we'll stuff it in the oven.
All right. So we have 20 minutes. We should
Okay.
sample some products.
Absolutely.
Gosh, look at this thing. This looks amazing. We're gonna cut it or we're gonna slice.
Oh, let's just dig in.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That's amazing. It's flavorful, it's light, it's dense, but it's not cakey.
Not overpowering.
No. You wanna try? Come on, here you go. Take a bite. After indulging in and learning about the incomparable key lime pie, I also spent a few minutes learning the art of playing a conch shell. Believe it or not, it is a real thing. That's why I needed an expert.
First of all, where are we?
Well, today we're here in the heart of Mallory Square at the Key West Sculpture Garden. It's a memorial garden dedicated to some of the earliest citizens that left an impact on the development of Key West.
What are some of the faces we're going to see?
We're going to walk by Henry Flagler. We're going to walk by President Harry S. Truman. We've got some incredible folks that have left an impact on the development here.
And why did they fall in love with this place? Why did they come down and they say, oh my gosh, we're going to stake a claim here. Why is that? I mean, yes, there's sun, yes, there's beach, but why here?
The place was ripe with opportunity. Sure. And so in the 1820s, when Florida became a U.S. territory, all of a sudden now, American businesses that had been sailing by the island of Kiowaso, now today called Key West, noticed Key West was like the Gibraltar of the South. You know, so we possess the best natural deepwater harbor south of the Chesapeake. You can bring shipping in. And so because of the reef that's out here as well, 7 miles out, runs all the way up the Keys, 120 plus miles, ships were wrecking on that reef. There was no lighthouses. There was no Coast Guard of the day. There was, you wrecked on the reef, you were in trouble.
That was a real problem.
A real problem.
It's kind of like my first marriage. But really, that's another. How do you describe the architectural style?
They're conch homes, conch houses. We've got master ship builders here. Okay, and so they use the same technique that they use to build a ship into their homes.
Really?
And so a lot of the old homes are built with mortise and tenon joint. When they're in high winds and storms, they sway.
They can move.
They move. And so there's no nails in them because the nails would crack the wood.
Yeah.
It works fantastic.
How did this come about?
This is a great sounding device.
Right.
Okay, so even in a fog set environment, if you didn't have a horn,
right,
this could serve that purpose.
All right. So we're gonna actually do this?
I actually brought one for you.
You brought one for me?
Yeah, I brought one for you as well.
Okay.
You know, so we've taken the tip off and kind of ground it down to create a mouthpiece, like you would have with any brass instrument.
Oh, okay.
So it's the exact same technique you use to play any kind of brass instrument.
Got it.
So also, there's a snail that is in here in the ocean.
Right.
Okay. And so the snail,
It's gotta come out of there, yep.
grows the shell, and so it gets this pink color in here because it eats red algae. And
Okay.
the red algae kind of blends in there, but
I'm
you know, so we've
pink,
got, you know, we've got a good opening
Right.
to pick our hand to kind of change the beats up a little bit. Take a deep breath from your diaphragm,
Yeah.
your gut there, you know.
This is why I get the big bucks, Clint,
and
right
then
here.
and just do this.
That's impressive. Can you play a song on that
Yeah.
thing?
There
What
you
do you got? What's your
This
favorite?
is, well, my favorite is a piece from Chotsky.
Okay.
All right, so this. Okay.
Okay, see now mine sounded terrible.
Just gotta push harder.
Oh, push harder, okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
Wow.
Perfect.
Okay, I've got an insider tip for you. On your first day here in Key West, I want you to come here. Thousands of people gather every night for a spectacular show, the sunset.
All these people can't be wrong. We're here at the famed Mallory Square, waiting for the sun to go down. As you can see it, the gorgeous sunsets highlight the beauty of Key West's allure, all while welcoming in spectacular acts and stunning performances to start the evening's fun. Don't try this at home, folks. Bring on the night, and cheers.
Here on Beyond Your Backyard, I am interested in getting you out of your comfort zone, getting you off your couch and into your next great adventure. Now, what you do on the days and nights of said adventure is really up to you. But here in Key West, if you're looking for the proverbial heartbeat that beats day and night with restaurants, bars, art galleries, t-shirt shops, then look no further than Duval Street, where you may or may not decide to get a little sloppy.
This is the main thoroughfare, serving as the absolute life force of this town, overflowing with character and a laid-back vibe that's intoxicating. It's not just a fun way to get from here to there, but a full and lively experience for all the senses, every step of the way. Stretching a little over a mile in length, Duval Street is home to an eclectic collection of famous local bars, historic haunts, funky shops, vibrant art galleries, outdoor cafes, and plenty of places to people watch. Duval Street captures the essence and energy of its people. There are countless festivals year-round and plenty of live music and entertainment to capture and hold your attention. Most notably, Fantasy Fest. It's Key West's largest and wildest festival that lasts 10 days at the end of October. It's an outlandish party extravaganza full of parades, body paint, and fabulous costumes. This is the type of event you just won't see anywhere else. Worthy enough to put your phone down for a minute and live and breathe it. For somewhat tamer opportunities on Duval Street, I suggest grabbing a local frozen flying monkey drink with a floater or the Green Parrot's famous root beer barrel.
Here's the Key West! I love it! That was awesome! Unique, edgy, inviting, stunning, and fun. These are the buzzwords that pop into my head when I'm trying to describe this remarkable corner of the globe. But more important than the description is the feeling you'll get when you're here. You know, in Key West, they have a motto that all people are equal members of one human family. And I can honestly say, after my explorations, the locals live up to this motto every day and embrace all people from all walks of life. And that's the defining characteristic that makes Key West an amazing place to vacation. I'm Erik the Travel Guy. Thank you for exploring beyond your backyard.
Lumpy Pie.
Lumpy Pie. Hey, it's my nickname in college, Lumpy Pie. Hello, Kermit. I kind of look like a whale. Too much pie. Kermit, You think this pie makes me look fat? I don't know, maybe it's the fat. Nailed it! Piping hot, it's ready to go. Oh, there's a lizard in it. All right, what's next? I'm gonna join the band. I'm joining the band. I'm doing it. That's how we do it in Key West.